Greetings, humans. I am Vrillon from Ashta Galactic Command, and I am speaking to your human race on behalf of your galactic brothers and sisters. Today is the continuation of exposure of lies that have been spread by dark souls together with humans to every living being on Earth. As we mentioned, both the NASA International and Chinese Tiangong space stations are not real and actually are not located in space. Instead, they are on the surface of Gaia, split into three parts of film production of lies. One part uses video editing and CGI screens, another has part of the station built with controlled gravity that makes humans float around in the air. The last and the biggest part has the whole physical space station in a huge pool. Both the United States and China had been caught lying in videos. NASA and CNSA are using the fake space stations in the swimming pools, filming the astronauts underwater pretending to be in space. Also, changing the background of water with a green screen to make it look like they are floating above Mother Earth. That is on why air bubbles appear in the video footage. The American Space Agency has exposed themselves much more than China, who are much careful in hiding the lies. NASA supposedly had an astronaut bouncing some water between two paddles, only to be caught doing it virtually, in a blue screen. In a different time, another pretend astronaut was in space trying to close the door to the space station. That door was made from fabric, and it was just flapping around and the human could not close it. In another instance, an American human was holding a hammer and one playing card. The hammer floated, but the card fell to the ground. Based on their lie, all of the objects are supposed to float in space. In another occasion, a woman astronaut had a green and red colored item appear from nowhere next to her, and she supposedly grabs this virtual toy. The humans from China's Space Agency also made some big mistakes and revealed their lies. In different times, they have the Earth spinning fast away from Chinese astronauts. The last example, there were 3 astronauts supposed to be in space, but the water in the glass did not float around, instead it stayed there like on Gaia. The dark ones together with humans are lying and misleading humanity about their space progress. Also, they are not even presenting correctly on how things really work in outer space. They always show these pretend astronauts floating around in their shuttles or space stations. There are a few problems with this. If you are moving around in air in a spacecraft, then you're allowing gravity to enter. Eventually, in a short period of time, you are going to be crushed by that gravity. You also are letting radiation in from outer space, which would poison your body very quickly. The oxygen is leaking too, that means they would run out of air. If these human astronauts would actually float around for a week or more, their bodies would have problems. On Earth, if you do not move enough physically, your feet and legs will become swollen from the lack activity and poor blood circulation. When human beings become sick and end up in hospitals for an extended period of time, they usually have to rebuild muscle strength and relearn to walk again. The idea that these astronauts can be moving around in the air for months is total nonsense. These space stations are built poorly, so they would fall down to your planet very quickly. The way many of those parts are put together with too many wires, that would cause a quick deterioration from being in open space. These human astronauts would not be able to maintain these stations in space. In our galactic ships, we do not float around, or any objects do, as we do not allow for gravity, radiation from space to enter, and any leakage of oxygen from our starships. We can teleport anywhere on the ships with our light bodies, but we usually walk. We do not walk in the same way as humans do. Our bodies feel weightless, much lighter and less physical than human 3D bodies. We usually do not feel much of our vessels until we have to do some physical work. Our spaceships do not have any wires either. They are completely silent and make no noise compared to most of the things on Mother Gaia. We do not like noise, we like silence. The galactic beings can talk like humans, but most of the time we communicate telepathically. The negative ones on Earth on purpose created everything that makes noise. It lowers and keeps humankind in low vibrations. If you constantly surround yourself with noise, that will decrease your frequencies. The human civilization doesn't have the correct concept on how things work in space or even in your sky. Everything built by humans is extremely heavy. We always are surprised that your airplanes do not just fall from the sky all of the time. You are not using the right materials, and the ones you use are too heavy. We use the same strong light materials to create everything. Also, your space rockets just go up and do not even turn in any direction. Your floating shuttles are not going to get anywhere. No galactic civilizations in the cosmos wears these oversized spacesuits. They are much smaller and more advanced. Humans refuse to see the obvious truth in front of their eyes. Thank you, Ambassador of Galactic Light Forces. Please accept my support. Only the truth is going to set you free. Vrillon. Channeled by Erena Velazquez. Ambassador of Galactic Light Forces.
Idea that the ISS is located in an underwater neutral buoyancy lab in Houston, Texas. The space station footage that they trick us with is not traveling at 17,500 miles per hour above your head. It's all being filmed here on Earth. An exact ISS replica underwater. Coincidence? It's a pretty simple process. Film your footage underwater, remove the water layer, add in your CGI Earth layer, and cast your spell. ISS.
I think you're better at ping pong than I am.
Here's how.
Just simply use a blue screen. Voila, now you have a bubble of water floating, as if he's in the outer space, inside the ISS. Thank me later.
In space. So a deck of cards makes some very interesting games and demonstrations that you can do in space. Some of you may be familiar with the old experiment about the hammer and the feather. Well, in this case, our feather will be played here by this four of spades. And you may expect everything up here in microgravity to float, because most everything does float.
No, 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 no.
Introduce the concept of free fall. So let's use this model of the Earth. And let's enlist the help of a friend, Patsy. You might know her. 白色的剧情还是吧？哦，这里是王亚平，就是建议他们来一个对后台，还有合影，谁的影子在300高呢？谁的影子在300上？是那些谁的影子？是个小主播，我向你看，我不看，我讲，看着好远了，就是深圳的人啊，我的特大路啊，再一出手人就明白。你看这空调也是全空。 看地球也在天上悬着，无依无靠啊！看着地球都不安全，看地球都飘。哇，这景象太美丽了！
Hi. Good afternoon, all the students on Earth. I'm Zhai Zhigang. I'm the commander. Good afternoon. My name is Ye Guangfu.
Absolutely correct. Uh-oh.